Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, T to T, and this is the episode or segment where we talk about finding the health in you. If you're watching me through Facebook, please enter into the icon on the YouTube Boxing Fans Talk TV, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment to let me know feedback or what you think of the program. Did you learn something? Any questions or anything? At the bottom, I have my phone lines, and I'm going to make sure that it's open right now. Hold tight for a second. No, it's not. I'm going to open up the phone lines in a second. But I also have my email scrolling down. I also have when my shows start Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. and 19:30. That's military time for those of you who don't know. But please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you and hit the notification bell so that you know when I come on. Um, so every time at the beginning of the shows, we do a water check and everything. But first, let's turn to. Welcome back. Welcome to this segment of Finding the Health in You. As I say, I'm going to open up the phone lines in a few. And I want to let you know that my show starts Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. or 19:30. That's military time. For those of you who don't know that, and you can come into YouTube, Boxing Fans Talk TV, and hit the live icon, the red live in the corner. Um, Also, every show, even my boxing show, we do a water check. And as of 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I've drank about 4 or 5, I think 5, but I'm not sure because the time starts after midnight. That's when your new day starts. And so I've drank about, I'll say about 5 bottles of water. I usually drink 8-ounce bottles. And so the goal is to reach 100 ounces of water per day. That's what we advocate. A gallon is 128. And we're gonna talk about water and the importance of it, and we're talking about dehydration today. So please, as you come into the building, hit the like, share, and subscribe. And don't be afraid to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. If you have any questions, you can either leave comments on the replay or you can email me at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. It is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And let me make sure that I put this up. And I'm actually going to open the phone lines up now before I get into the whole thing of what we're discussing. And today we're discussing dehydration. Now, you guys probably be like, well, Miss T, you always talk about water every day. Um, isn't this like kind of overkill? No, you can never talk that much about water. Um, what brought this on is, as you know, this is a boxing channel. The phone line's open, by the way. This is a boxing channel. And last week, not this past Saturday, we had somebody actually pass out at a weigh-in for their upcoming bout for the next day. Like I said, it wasn't this Saturday, it was the Saturday before. And why did he pass out? Because he was dehydrated. And, when you hear the word dehydration, you think just water, lack of water. But dehydration goes deeper than that. Dehydration is much deeper than that. You never want to get your body in a state of dehydration. Never. It starts a domino effect. You can have all kinds of problems. If you want to have a prolonged life, water is something that you gotta embrace yourself to it or ingratiate yourself to and become one with it. You're gonna have to do more than what you probably normally have been. A lot of people don't like to drink water. It's boring. I get it. I get it. It's much more fun to drink coffee, tea, juices that you get from those sugar juices that you get from the stores, sodas, and alcohol and other stuff. But the thing is, when you drink those other drinks, even though they have liquid in it, so we know they have some elements of water, um, it's the other stuff that might not be the bee's knees, so to speak, that you're taking in. It's not just pure water. Water is a life sustainer. Let me repeat, it's a life sustainer. Nothing living can survive without water. And we all know that the human body is about 70, maybe 65 to 70% water. Hell, this earth has the same ratio. So if you're mostly water, then you have to, in part, take water in all the time. You should know that. If your body is more than half water, suffice to say, you have to drink a lot of water just to survive and have your body function correctly. Now, like I said, what brought this on was this guy passing out during his weigh-ins. But he made it. He made it. He made his weight. And after his weight, he was trying to drink up and everything. And that's what boxers normally do. After they make their weight, then they can eat. Then they can drink. Then they can do whatever. But if you look at the guy, I wish I'd have got a picture, But if you look at him, he looked nothing like himself. I didn't bring a picture up because a lot of you probably don't even know what this guy looked like. And so it don't matter. But when you're dehydrated like that, he looked like he was close to death. And what that tells anybody who's watching, who has any knowledge on, just basic things like dehydration or people trying to cut weight, what that tells us is that he was knocking on death's door. He couldn't make it out the weigh-in. Like, all you do is get on the scale, you weigh in, you do a face-off, and you talk your crap to the opponent. It's the entertainment part of it. You're selling the fight. And then, he couldn't even make it off the stage before he passed out. So he was pretty much severely dehydrated. He ran the risk of losing his life. And that's why I said, oh, I have to talk about this. We here at the channel, like I said, we advocate drinking water. It's something I say every day. I talk about how much water I drink. Um, every one of us can drink a gallon of water a day, but sometimes it's kind of difficult, and you have to build up to that. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that you can say, you know what, starting tomorrow, I'm going to start drinking a gallon. A gallon is actually 128 ounces. So I make it a realistic goal. Like, we can start off the goal like trying to reach something like 100 ounces a day. And some people will think, well, I'm very, very small. I don't need to drink that much. Yes, you do. And you can drink that much. But there is a such thing as doing too much water, drinking too much water. And of course, we know it's a such thing as not drinking enough water. Now, either way, can be damaging. I want you to always keep in mind that an imbalance anywhere in your body is an imbalance everywhere in your body. I want you to always keep that in mind when you thinking about body functions, finding the health in you, getting to your wellness and everything. I also want you to keep in mind that every person is different. What works for you works for you. It might not work for the next person. You might have to do a little bit more than the next person, or you might have to do a little bit less than the average person. And it doesn't matter if you have, it could be your whole household, like your mother, your father, and you could have, 3 or 4 siblings. All of y'all gonna have different measurements that you need to, concentrate on and make sure you check these goals per day. Now, there's a lot of things that's going on in your body every day. Why you need to be properly hydrated. Um, every night that you go to sleep, your body do its most work. You burn the most calories at night. Believe it or not, you can't even burn that many calories. Most of us in a workout. The average workout, and I'm talking about a good workout, if somebody goes into the gym and works out about an hour and a half or so, you're going to burn maybe 300 calories. But when you just doing something as simple as sleeping, you're burning about 900 calories. Isn't that amazing? It's very amazing. But you need water to do that. Water is the lubricant of the body. And I know that when we think of lubricants, we thinking of oil, greasy stuff like that. No, for the body, that oil or that greasy substance is water. You need water to get things moving. You need water to rebuild cells, which you do on a regular every day. There's certain parts of your body that reproduce cells by the thousands, and certain parts of your body that reproduce cells by the hundreds. I mean, it is what it is. This is how your body functions. And like I said, everybody is different. So you need water to do those jobs. They just don't do it in a dry atmosphere. That's the lube that it needs. So we're going to talk about the importance of dehydration, what it can lead to, um, and what can happen when you are hydrated. And we're going to get rid of some of these myths out here because a lot of people think that drinking a lot of water isn't going to do nothing but put weight on you. I'm going to talk about the dehydration factor in regards to weight gain or loss. Okay, a lot of people think, and not everybody, but a lot of people think that when you drink water, it's defeating the purpose, so to speak. They get caught up on this. Um, I lost 2 pounds this week, but that was really water weight. No, get that one out your head. Stop measuring weight loss by the loss of fluids because that's not a good thing. Now, that is not a good thing. You don't want to be in the business ever of losing weight through liquids. And I will tell you, water fluids in your body is weight. I mean, because fluid can have volume. If you could put it in a container and weigh it, true enough. But fluid weight and body fat weight is kind of two different things. And we're not going into depth, but just understand that they are two different things. And I'll give you an example. Some of us of a particular age, we get to this point where we have a lot of injuries and things be happening to us, which we be feeling is unexplainable. For instance, my example that I like to use is that now I can say a couple of years ago, probably like 5 or 6 years ago, I had my knee was swelling just out the blue, just started swelling my right knee, and I learned later that it's common and that it was a lot of women going through the same thing, you know, men too. But talking about the women because I'm not a superior athlete. I'm not a professional athlete. I don't understand why my knee was swelling. I didn't understand. And when I say swelling, it was swollen. It affected my mood every day because I was irritable. Why? It was swollen that bad that I was in pain. It affected my ability to do simple shit like just walk. Uh, Coming up the stairs was an ordeal, and I have stairs in my house. Going down the stairs was an ordeal. Walking from here to my mailbox or getting in the car, I couldn't get comfortable. I was preoccupied. I would not be able to accomplish anything. All this because my knee was severely swollen. And it was so swollen, one leg looked different than the other. I wound up trying to go to the emergency room. Now, for those of you who have somewhat medical insurance or none at all, you kind of understand they try to do quick fixes. And when you get to the point where you start having swelling, which you will as you get older, you don't want to hear that. You want them to alleviate the situation immediately. You can actually literally be sitting there thinking, man, if I had a big, you know, a sharp instrument where I could just poke my knee and let all this stuff drain out. I mean, that's how your mind be thinking. And also, I was this close. I was contemplating, and that's bad enough. I always say I'm an old bra, but I ain't that old. I was this close to or contemplating at least to buying a chairlift. And my friends laugh at that, but they laugh because it's funny because it's something that you actually think about. Like me at my age, I was wanting to buy a chairlift that most senior citizens need or whatever in their homes. And I was trying to figure out who makes them, how can I get it, how can I alter my stairs like that? Because, if I went downstairs, I was down there for the duration. I wouldn't go downstairs unless I absolutely had to, because getting back up was going to be much worse. So finally, I went to an ER, and the lady told me, and I'm talking about a regular hospital. Now, I got insurance out the wazoo. I'm good. I can go anywhere. I get to the ER, and she kind of, in my opinion, brushed me off. It could have been that I was so irritable because my leg was in such pain. But she felt my leg, and she said, yeah, you have a lot of swelling. You have a lot of liquid buildup around your knee. And she said, but it's not that hot. And I said, well, what does the temperature of it got to do with it? She said, because the hotter it is, then we're gonna drain it then because we know it's infected. My question is, why are you gonna let it get infected? If you know that that's the course or the path it's gonna take, why not head it off and just get it out now? Well, we don't know. You have to get an MRI. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of times when it comes to things outside of bones in your body, what they got to see inside, they need to do MRIs. They don't want to do MRIs because, apparently it's expensive. They don't want to do an MRI. So that is like their last resort. So I wind up setting up an appointment. And again, people know this nowadays when you need medical attention, especially if it's something acute, it's going to take you a month or two before you can get seen. So I set up an appointment, and I had to deal with that for about a month. And it will swell up way big, and then the swelling would go down, and then it would swell up. It just kept doing that, but it wouldn't go down completely. It would just swell up real big. So by the time I had my appointment, which was like a month later, the swelling had went down a little bit, right? So I get to the appointment, and it was a little bit more manageable. I couldn't stand for long. So, you stand in line trying to check in. You're like sweating and everything. And the whole time you pissed because you're like, I didn't do anything to my knee. How is it doing this to me? So I finally get in the back, And the guy was like, yeah, we know what's up. He said, he started explaining what he gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna stick a needle in there to to drain it, and also I'm gonna stick a needle after that to put medicine in it, and so I had 3 pokes, in other words, and I'm gonna stick a needle in there to give some antibiotics. So like to drain it, to put some medicine, well the antibiotics is the medicine. And but he did it 3 times. I don't, either way. So when he drained my knee, it was 66 cc's of fluid. And it was weird color. It was like a rust color yellow. And when he was draining the fluid, as he was doing it, I was like, ooh. Oh yeah, the other reason why they stick it pain medication like lidocaine or whatever, so it don't hurt, because that was a big needle. And I'm just like almost like euphoric, almost like orgasmic. I mean, I can't explain it. I could feel the letdown as he's draining this fluid. He showed me in a needle of what he gained. It was about this long. It was fat as hell, and it was a lot of fluid. And I was like, oh my God. So whatever medicine he put in and pain management medicine that he put in, the antibiotics was taking effect right away, but the pain medicine was going to take a couple of days. It couldn't come soon enough. But when you go through this swelling and all this retaining of fluid, that's what you're damaging. You're damaging stuff. And this, that, and the other. Now I know you probably asked what this got to do with dehydration. Dehydration leads to a lot of things that can go wrong with you. I told you, keep in mind, an imbalance anywhere in the body is an imbalance everywhere in the body. So dehydration can lead you to have so many different issues. Like, I'm just going to name a few, right? You can have a stroke that really started from your chronic dehydration. You can have heart attacks or cardiac arrest. You know why you can have those 2 things? Because you could cause other parts of your body not to work properly or function properly. And that's what dehydration does. It not only damages organs, but it causes parts of your body not to work properly. That's why it's important. And that's why I advocate all the time for us to drink water, because water is a life sustainer. Remember, I said that in the beginning too. You can have kidney failure. You need your kidneys. Your kidneys help you flush out things. You can, like I said, you can damage vital organs to the point that it's permanent. Now, a lot of people don't think about this, but when you damage an organ or something in the inside, it's permanently damaged. You just got to think of it like that. If people will say, well, how do you, if we're so resilient and the body is, and when you course correct, you exponentially turn things around. When you just, like, if you're a smoker and you just stop smoking, you exponentially change things around 50% or higher for the better. So why wouldn't it be the same with dehydration? Because dehydration, like I said, if you damage a part of your body, that damage is not reversible. And the best you can do going forward is to not further damage it. So if your heart is damaged, your heart comes in 4 different parts. You have the then I just drew a blank. But you have the lower parts, the left and right atrium. Then you have the why, and this is the part of my heart that's damaged. I cannot even think of it. It'll come to me. But you got 4 different parts of your heart. Now, if you have one part that's damaged, you got 3 other parts. Well, if you got all 4 that's damaged, I mean, are you living? Are you running the risk of dying? So you got the left and the right. and the upper part and the bottom part. So if you have one part, like I said, is damaged, your job going forward is to not let the other three parts be damaged. That's your main job, not to let that happen. So you have to do a lot of preventative maintenance. You can't be casual about eating properly, drinking plenty of water. You don't have that luxury anymore. Eating junk food, youth is a beautiful thing. If we could bottle it up and sell it, it'll be $1 trillion business. But once your youth has expired, um, you can't play around. A lot of people get through stuff because they're young. This boxer, which made me want to talk about dehydration. He's young. He's like 25 years old. Ventricle. That's what it was. I told you I would think of it. Ventricle. So you got your left ventricles and your atriums or whatever. But this guy, Jaime McGear, he's 25. And I would suspect by looking at him, his youth saved him. His youth, because when the younger you are, the more your body is resilient and the more it is able to fight and put up a good fight. Survival of the fittest or just self-preservation will always kick in. But when you get older, and older can be simply mid-30s, early 40s, whatever, something like that, your body is tired from all the abuse. And it just can't put up the fight because you're not feeding it and it has no fuel. And it went 15, 20 years of abuse and was winning. But, if you don't give it no substance, then when you get in your late 30s and early 40s, it's going to quit on you. So his youth saved him. You can sustain injuries because you lose strength. And this guy's a boxer, so he has to the next day go in there and fight a combat sport. And he was dehydrated the day before, like that severe that he passed out. I mean, I don't want y'all to think that he passed out and was asleep, like in a coma. He passed out. He couldn't stand. They were fanning him with the towels. They was giving him all this liquid. But he did what he had to do, which was make the weight. And so, like I said, you know, dehydration in regards to weight is one of the biggest problems in America, even for people who are not superior athletes. And so, like in that fight, he went in his fight. He won in the earlier rounds, but I would suspect if he couldn't get his opponent out within them first few rounds, he would have been hurt because that weight drain that he did to make the weight, because that's part of the match. You have to make a certain weight, and there's no wiggle room with that. That weight drain that he did, he put himself in a dehydrated state. And if he would have been around in that bout, like around the 6th, 7th round, that dehydration depletion would have showed up, and dude could have killed him. He was playing with his life, in other words. And that's what you do. That's what you're doing when you allow yourself to be totally dehydrated. Okay? You put yourself at a higher risk of getting concussed. So if you're trying to cut weight, maybe you're doing it for sports. Now I know in America or just everywhere in the world, weight cut and weight, when we're concentrating on weight, it seemed to be something that's synonymous with women. But and in general, men who are not superior athletes, just living their regular life, they don't have the pressures on them about weight that women do. Because um, a woman in general is not going to discard a man because he's 30 or 40 or 50 pounds over. He's going to, and if he feels a certain way about it, you know what he'll do? He'll go to the gym and put some weight on top of the weight. Like he'll lift weights literally to build muscle on top of his fat. That doesn't work for women. That does not work for women. In our society, we put a lot of emphasis on weight, and most of the time the pressure is directed towards the women. Another thing a man could do if he's 30 or 50 pounds over, he'll put on the big clothes. That's all he has to do. He's still a man. He still can have all the perks and everything that come with him being a dude. But you can't do that with a woman. It's not flattery. You can't put on bigger clothes and then still get along and be socially adequate as a woman like a man could do. That's just not how the world works. Is it fair? No, but it's just not how the world works. Like I said, a woman is not going to discard a good man because he's 30 or 50 pounds over. But it do seem like a man would do that the opposite way. Maybe not older, mature men, but the young folks know that, men can hold it against a woman for the fact that she has a lot of girth or just, overweight in any kind of way. You can also put yourself in a position where you start having things like seizures. And the bad thing, like I said, once you have an imbalance anywhere in your body, you'll have an imbalance everywhere. You'll turn things on like, you know, maybe you never had a seizure before, but once you get it, you're always going to be prone to it. Everybody can have a seizure. Everybody can. It's a neurological thing. Um, but once you turn it on, it could be a chronicle thing. A chronic. Look, I'm messing up my words for some reason. It could become a chronic thing. You don't want that. Having seizures leads to a lot of exclusions in the form of social settings, exclusions from jobs, exclusion from the military. Um, Seizures is not nothing to play with. You can be shelved, meaning all you can do is live a disabled life. You have a disabled lifestyle. You can't do and be a part of a lot of things because of it. So, because you can't, you know, it sounds kind of bad, but of course, you're not going to be the most reliable person because you can't tell when the seizure comes. There's nothing you could do to say, okay, I'm, I'm gonna make sure I don't have a seizure. If I have a seizure, I'm gonna have it when I get off work and when I'm at home and my husband get there or my wife get there. You can't plan it like that. It come when it want to come, right? So then losing water weight, um, contrary to what most people think, is not a good thing. And see, when you're dehydrated, that's probably what you did. Lost a lot of water weight. If I'm saying that the human body, or any living thing for that matter, but we're talking about the human body, if the human body is on average 65 to 70% water, losing a lot of water to make weight is not a good thing. And when it comes to the boxing or combat sports, men have the same pressure on them as women do in general to be a certain weight, even wrestlers, because you have to be that weight. You can be a couple of pounds smaller, but if they said you have to be 140 pounds for your boxing match or your wrestling match, that's what you have to be. There's no wiggle room in that. And men who have chosen wrestling or boxing or some kind of combat sports, um, they understand the pressure that women probably go through because they're always trying to lose weight. Women put that pressure on them because they think if they're not that desired weight or that so-called prescribed weight, that socially it's going to affect them. They're going to be inadequate. A lot of it is mental. There's ways if you was a strong-minded person, it wouldn't affect you, but um, what you see happening, sometimes you go by what you see happening. Men will hold that against you. Any woman can tell you that. They will hold that against you. Men do not really desire, because they're more visual than women. They do not desire a woman who is heavier or bigger than them. But there's a lot of men out there that do like it. And but women put that pressure on them because we have in society what we deem as beautiful. And usually if you're talking about women, then what's the standard of beauty? Well, the standard of beauty changes from decades to decades. But what don't change is how much a woman should weigh. And now that's a crazy concept in itself too, because you can have a man that says, "Oh, any woman that's over 120 pounds is too big for me," but yet he'll be dating a lot of women who are 130, 135, but in his mind they're 120 because they don't understand that it's not just about the numbers; it's about your stature, it's about your height. It's about your bone density and this, that, and the other. How we determine what's a good weight for you. Um, Also, there's other factors that you could tell what's a good weight for you is how you function. If you have to run, maybe you're being chased, maybe you have to get somewhere fast, and you should be able to do that, especially when you're younger, with the greatest of ease. If you're huffing and puffing and you're 25 years old, just by walking up some stairs, something wrong. That should not be the case. If you got a lot of weight on you, and women know this, it makes it difficult to maneuver in these streets, period. It makes it difficult to do things. You get tired quick. You can't fit into this, you can't fit into that. There's just a lot of things that come with carrying around excess weight. So a lot of people try to cut weight. And one of the first things they do is they attack um, their hydration. That's what they do. There's people who will take pills to lose the water weight. And you think that's something legitimate, but it's not. And this is what I mean by I want to kill some myths. If you A lot of people think, not everybody, but a lot of people think, oh, I lost 5 pounds. Let's say you start your weight loss journey this week, and by today you lost 5 pounds. You know what you would say, or what other people would tell you? Oh, that's water weight. Never look at it. Never, ever, ever look at it like I'm losing water weight, because it'll start you on a journey that you don't want to go on. If you allow yourself to be dehydrated, you could chronically stay in that state of dehydration day in and day out. When you're dehydrated like that, you are damaging vital parts of your body. You are depleting like natural fluids that you need, or minerals in your body like potassium, magnesium, magnesium. I don't care who you are and how old you are. If you deplete those two things, you're walking right into a stroke or a heart attack. You can be a child and have a heart attack. You understand? So, if you have kidney problems, do you really want to be sitting up there going through dialysis because you allowed yourself for 20 years or 15 years to be dehydrated? A lot of people are dehydrated and they don't even know it. But there's a lot of telltale signs, like your skin, do it look healthy? Are you aging quicker than you should, looks wise? Discolorations. in your skin or nails and stuff like that. Getting tired, getting dizzy. There's a whole lot of telltale signs of dehydration. The one I hear the most about is pinching your skin. So when you hear people say, oh, that's water weight, or they're taking fluid pills to lose water weight, to get them started, it's a false sense of achievement. It's not, you didn't achieve anything. In fact, you got worse. If you try to go on this journey where you are trying to get rid of excess water, don't you know that when you get in the shower and you take a shower, which we all should do it every day, you're hydrating yourself that way too. You're you're intaking water just by getting in the shower. It will show on the scale. But the biggest myth is I don't want to drink too much water because then I'm just gonna hold water and I'm gonna gain weight. And what you don't do is you don't be like, well, why am I holding this water? Why am I gaining this weight? Because water, drinking a lot of water doesn't do that to you. It actually does the opposite in a good way. But if you're holding water and you're retaining water, you need to ask the simple question of why am I holding this water? Why am I gaining when I drink water? You also have to be patient and understand that as you're drinking water, the next day and the next day and the next day, you're going to have the desired effects that you want, not the desired effects you don't want. I mean, well, it's not desired, but not the effects that you don't want. So, actually, when you drink water, you actually peel weight off. This is why every day when I start my show, Monday through Friday, and it's a boxing show, and I have fighters who watch me, I have people all over the world who watch. I'm commentating. I'm talking about fights. I'm reviewing fights. It's a fun show. You guys should watch it. But I'm talking about wellness because this is a passion for me as well. But when I advocate for them to drink water, I advocate for them to drink at least 100 ounces of water. I repeat myself over and over again because as humans, that's how we learn. If somebody was doing that to you from day one, meaning when you was a baby up, make sure you drink your water. Now, there's some generations out here like mine and ones previous to mine, we got talked to or told to drink water all the time. And a lot of time it ain't have nothing to do with being healthy. It had more to do with it's cheap, it's free. Because, if you let a kid decide, they're going to come in and want to drink everything that's not good. They're going to drink juice. Like that sugar juice is not good for you. Make your own juice. Make your own juice. And you can. You can make your own apple juice. You can make your own grape juice. You can make your own orange juice. And that's pretty much what you're buying anyway. And it'll be a lot cheaper and it'll be a lot healthier. And you can do that every day. But people buy these juices and all this stuff, and the kids will prefer that, or they want some soda or tea, everything that they shouldn't be drinking. But you as a parent got to know they need to drink at least half their body weight in water. They need to. And with kids, it is important to just go by your body weight because you're growing and you just don't want to offset nothing. When you're a full-fledged adult, you need to drink. If you can drink a gallon of water, then you need to go for that. But if not, shoot for 100 ounces. There are people, believe it or not, who I help on a regular with changing their lifestyle to let food be the medicine, and get them on this water regimen. And they tell me, they be like, "Wow, if I only knew." I feel the same way too. I've lost a lot of pertinent years because I didn't know. I didn't understand how the body functioned. So I'm telling you guys, it's a hint to the wise should be sufficient. Um, when you drink a lot of water, you do a lot of remarkable things in your body that, and those things is what's going to make you have the desired results in weight loss. Normally I don't concentrate on weight loss. I concentrate on finding the health in you because weight loss is a byproduct from finding the health in you. If you find the health in you and you work towards that every day, you you're not going to be able to stop uh with losing the weight or whatever it is that you wanted to do. It's just going to come. It's like a byproduct of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you run outside in the hot sun, you're going to sweat, right? You know, it's just what it is. If you're out there in the hot sun, you're going to sweat. Well, the same thing. If you're eating healthy and you're drinking plenty of water, you're going to lose weight because you're not going to have any problems. And again, I go back to the imbalance anywhere is an imbalance everywhere. So if you trying to lose weight and you're trying to do it by depleting water, stop that. You are hurting yourself and you're not going to get the desired weight you want to lose. And then whatever you lose is fleeting. When people say, man, the one thing I don't like about diets is, when you lose weight and then you gain all that weight back and then some, that's what you did. That's what happens when you try to do it improperly. You did that. But if you just drink water, some people, that's all they need to do is get off the sodas, get off the juices, get off the coffee, get off the liquids. I mean, other harmful liquids like liquor or something, and just drink water. And they be like, wow, I'm peeling this weight off. That's what it was. Some people, if you do all of that, what I just said, and then add to the fact that stop putting condiments on your food, i.e., mayonnaise, grape jelly, um, ketchup, especially, just barbecue sauce, all this stuff. Stop adding that shit to your food and drink plenty of water and get off of dairy. Don't even have a weight issue after that. In fact, you get much healthier. You might even, if you're pre-diabetic, you'll get healthier. If you, if I know I've come up with programs to help people in this transition because what I do here at Finding the Health in You, I come up with recipes that address your medical issues. I'm not a doctor, but I study food. I study the properties of food. And so when you may come to me and say, because a lot of women do, I want to lose weight. That's my main thing. I just want to lose weight. Well, I know that the only reason you're obese is not because you're an overeater. In fact, I would tell everybody, think about it. Who do you know that truly, truly just overeat? How do you gauge that? But I know that you're not an overeater. So I ask questions. I ask, what are your problems medically? Because that's what we're gonna address. I'm not gonna even say, let's hit the gym, let's do this. Matter of fact, working out has nothing to do with my program. You can do my program without even working out. And when I tell you you're gonna peel some weight, you're gonna peel the weight. Okay. And this notion that you're only supposed to lose 2 pounds a week because that's healthy amount of weight. No. If it's true that you can gain 5 pounds a week or whatever you can gain, people with thyroid issues have been known to gain like 15 pounds in a week. If you can do that, then surely you can do the opposite, which is lose and not be unhealthy. It's about how you do it. It really is. And you can lose a lot of weight without ever even exercising. You can your skin don't have to be loose and flabby and all that stuff. It depends. It depends on how bad you damage yourself. Like if you was a person that got up to like 400 pounds and then you all of a sudden went on my program, and of course you're gonna lose a lot really, really quick. And you have this excess skin, you're gonna have excess skin because you got up to 400 pounds. Remember I said when you damage shit, it's not reversible all the time. So in the case of a person with excess skin, they have to go and have surgery to get rid of the skin, and that's easy. That's relatively easy, but you just can't go under the knife unhealthy. So you're gonna have to eat right and drink plenty of water. That's the cure. And so if you come to me and you ask me about, like I said, weight loss, that's the approach I take. What's wrong with you? And you'll say, well, my doctor says I have an absorption problem, or I have this problem, or I have that problem. So because I study food, I think about the foods that help those particular problems. Then I create you specifically for you, but I have I'm actually making a book of recipes that when you eat these foods, it's foods you eat anyway, but when you eat them together or how we mix them together, um, it actually not only helps you with your medical issue. I hate to use the word cure, but it can cure or sometimes make dormant medical issues. But it's going to help you with your medical issues. Once I do that, the byproduct, as I say, is you dropping a lot of weight. Please like, share, and subscribe. I know I see y'all in here. Like I tell you, y'all be watching from your peripheral, but you don't come in and like, share, and subscribe. And sometimes I have, y'all catch me on the replay, which is fine by me. So, but make sure when you do like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Now, can I build a show just on dehydration? Yes. Or just on water? Yes. Because people not understanding. I know because I was one of those. People not understanding the importance of hydrating your body and what it can do and what it can't do. So one thing we glean, that's why I'm going to recap a little bit. We do not try to go on a weight loss journey by factoring in how much liquid we can lose, just so we can feel we had an achievement. That backfires. When you do it that way, not only you're going to gain that weight back, it's not real weight that you lost, but you're going to gain double weight. Like if you lost 5 pounds, soon as you stop doing what you're doing, you're going to gain 10. And that extra 5 pounds that you didn't have before you started this weight loss journey. So never, ever, ever, ever approach things like that. Get that thought out of your mind. You do not lose weight by trying to drop liquids. Liquids or fluids in your body does not weigh the same as fat. Anybody who's had any fluid drained from their body, I've had that because I was really sick one time, and I had to actually be checked into the hospital. I mean, I was so swollen you could see it everywhere. Um, and I was a person throughout my life that stayed chronically dehydrated. It wasn't like I was trying to. I thought I was drinking enough, but I wasn't. So I've caused damage. Again, when you know better, you do better. But I've caused damage to the point that I'm just gonna always have certain problems. And so, also when it comes to me talking about weight loss or whatever, um, again, I know what I'm talking about. But I've had some people email me for disclosure, and they were like, "Well, Miss T, like, if you know so much, You should be like an exemplar. You should be exemplary of what you know. And again, I'm that person who walked through life without knowledge, and the damage has been done to me. I don't have a thyroid gland, so my body's response to all that I'm talking about is different from you guys. It's just different. You guys will have more success at it than me. If you really want to know the dip into the weeds of my medical issue, I would suggest you just go ahead back to like third week of October when I first started doing this wellness show. Because for years I was like, I know this stuff. I'm a boxing coach. I help people drop weight, and that's what I do. and but I was like, well, I want to look the part too. But again, I would be here all day trying to explain why sometimes it doesn't just work for me. I'm less for organs. And I mean, again, if you want to know more about it, go back to like October 2021 and look at the shows because I thoroughly explain why I'm a little different. But I know it works because I help people all the time. There is a fee if you email me. And you want me to help you with your situation. Again, a lot of the females that come at me, they more interested in the weight. I have to like pull teeth to be like, yo, what is it that's wrong with you? Because they're so focused and preoccupied with just losing weight. They don't even think about that they might be acidic or uh, they got other type of illnesses that need to be addressed. That's like on the back burner to them because they live in their life. They What's on the front burner is them losing weight. And I be trying to explain to them, I was like, look, if I fix this thing you got on the back burner, this thing about the weight is gonna fix itself. You ain't even gotta do anything. Just fix the back burner shit. The weight loss, girl. And some of them believe it, and I come up with the recipes, and they give me such great feedback. I'd be so happy for them. A lot of people are shy about sharing, or maybe they don't want nobody to know that what other issues that they had, and that's why they don't share. And I get it. But I will tell you this: I've helped many people. Many. I've been doing it for years, and so I would say like 4 or 5 years. But I've been on this quest to get in shape my damn self for over 20 years since they took my thyroid gland when I was 24 years old. And so I've tried every diet. I've tried everything. I can also tell you three piece of advice. Any diet that you choose to go on, you don't have to. I don't even call my shit a diet. It's not a diet. We're finding the health in you. Because whatever we do and we get success, we want it to stay successful. So I don't even call my shit a diet. But the people who have worked with me or I've worked with, the most important thing I try to leave with them is we want this to be something continuous and forever. Okay? We want you to reverse anything that's going bad. We want you to understand that you reach that's this point where you don't have the luxury to do all the bad behavior, that you've been doing when it comes to finding the health in you. Okay. We're gonna fix things like some people don't even know their true eye color. It's the food you eating. The food you eating. I've had people um get recipes from me and it was like my eye color changed. But it was to a color that they like. Yeah. It's the food you was eating. That caused the discoloration. And you could have went your whole life and never even knew that. Or some people have their skin clears up. Yeah, it was the food you was eating that caused the toxicity. Some people can't grow hair. They wasn't even looking to fix it. But again, tell me your issues medically, and I will design a recipe or a regimen for you that address your medical issues. And in the process, just stand by whether you wanted it or not. The weight is going to peel off you. But never approach weight loss, again, in the recap, with talking about how much water weight you're losing. That's not a winning strategy. And that's a strategy for destruction. That's really what it is. There's a such thing as drinking too much water. You will know that. I don't even have to go into that. But it's definitely a thing of not drinking enough water. And the body is a balancing act, and you must always keep that in mind in every aspect, to include taking in fluids and maintaining fluids. It's a balancing act. And everybody knows, like I said, my situation and all that stuff. And mine is unique, and so you don't want to get in the habit of judging people by other people's shit. Like, if you looking for your success, and I build you this regimen, and I can be doing the same regimen, don't judge your success or lack thereof by my success or lack thereof. You are uniquely you. There's no one else like you. You are uniquely you, and get in the habit of looking at life that way. So these are some of the questions that I've had. So I'm gonna answer these questions, and I'm gonna be done in a minute. Cutting weight fast is not dangerous. They ask, is cutting weight dangerous? Fast, and I'm gonna tell you it's not. As long as you are hydrated, it's not. Cutting weight fast is not dangerous as long as you're hydrated and eating properly. It's not. And it can be done without exercise. Um, just like you can gain it fast, you can lose it fast. Remember that. It's a balancing act. Whatever you can do one way, you can do it the opposite way too. So these doctors should say, or whoever who's saying, and I'm not anti-doctor or anything, but if they say, oh, you know, it's unhealthy to lose like more than 2 or 3 pounds in a week. Says who? Says who? People out there who have had thyroid problems have seen that they could gain 15 pounds in a week, and they know they're not a big eater. And you would never hear a doctor say, um, that's just that's really unhealthy. They'd be like, ooh, their advice would just be stop eating too much, or just calm down on your eating, or get more exercise, and that's all they got to say about it. But if you go to the doctor once a week and wait, and of course you have to weigh in, and you losing 15 pounds a week, they'll be like, oh, we got something going on. I got to prescribe you medicine. I got to, do this and do that. If they got medicine that can make you gain, what is it? Gain weight, or but they don't have medicine that can make you lose weight. I can tell you right now that ain't true neither. There's a medicine called T3, and you can't get it because you want to. You have to have an actual problem, and you guys gonna have to get out and get this notion out your head. Stop taking stuff to help you with something that your body naturally does, because you're gonna offset your balance. And then what did I just say? Imbalance anywhere is a balance everywhere. So for those of you who be taking melanin pills, stop that shit. You make melanin. If you're not making it, then you have an absorption problem. If you have an absorption problem, then you got to find out why. What is causing you to have that absorption problem? Fix that, and then you're going to fix your melanin problem. See what I mean? Stop getting on these pills to do the job that you normally can do. Stay hydrated by drinking water and eating foods grounded in water. Let me say that again. Somebody, they was like, well, okay, is staying hydrated just about drinking water? No, it's also about eating foods that are grounded in water, like melons, all types of melons. Believe it or not, cruciferous vegetables, um, other types of fruits. These things are grounded in water, like they have sufficient water. Just because you don't see it and it ain't liquidy doesn't mean that it doesn't have a lot of water. It does. Because here's the thing, you could take a solid and turn it into a liquid. We understand that from physical science. Remember, you take water and freeze it, and now it's a solid. You could take that same frozen water and apply heat, and then it turns into a gas. So we could change the state of anything, like we could change the state of matter by just adding temperatures, right? Or whatever. Where if you could change the state of matter, then you could change the state of matter. So you could take vegetables and make them into liquids. We know you could turn fruits into liquids, but you could take vegetables and make them into liquids. Maybe you like your vegetables in a liquid state more than you like your vegetables in a solid state. You got to look at the other shows to understand like what I mean by like I'm talking juicing, yes, and it's a good thing. There's certain things like beets. I cannot eat it in a solid state. Never would I ever. I don't even like it, and I would consider it an act of war if you try to give it to me in a solid state. But if you liquefy it all day, every day, and it's just as sweet as it want to be, and the healing properties from drinking or eating beets is remarkable. You want beets in your life. All of us do. We need it. But it's, for me, in a solid state, nasty as hell. I just couldn't do it. I hated it. I couldn't taste the sugar. But one day I tried it in its liquid state and it was so delicious. In fact, after the show, that's what I'm about to go drink. A beet juice. A juice that I made myself. How long does it take to recover from weight cut? It doesn't take long if you're hydrated and you eat foods grounded in water. Doesn't take long. You don't even need to recover. What's there to recover from? Because why? You was never dehydrated. Um, do cutting weight have long-term effects? Yes. If done properly, it's all positive. It's all positive. Again, with the hydration. Can you lose belly fat by drinking water? You sure can. It flushes you out. It gets rid of toxins. It reduces your appetite and boosts your metabolism, just to name a few. This is what water does. It does all of that. When you go to sleep, I said something about the burning of the calories, but you also recharge your system. You reboot it. You know, you rejuvenate it. It's when your growth hormones be really going ham. And the lube that it needs to do all this work is water. So you always hear me say, before you put your foot on the ground when you wake up in the morning, you need to be drinking 8 ounces of water. Have the water right there by your bedside, a bottle of water ready to go. Um, it don't hurt neither to put a little refrigerator in your master bedroom. So like for me, I have a little refrigerator, about 36 inches high, not that wide. But like if I'm in my room and I brought some food up to my room and I was eating and I didn't want to finish it or whatever, I could put it I could put it in the little fridge and save it for later. Or, I keep my fridge stocked with water, and do I drink soda? Sometimes. But my theory with that is I won't drink no tea, no soda, no anything until I reach my goal or really at the goal. I'm at the point now I could throw 3 bottles of water, 8-ounce bottles of water back in 10 minutes. Easy. Why? Because I practice it. I practice it because I drink water every day, all day, all day, all day. But after a while, you had your fill of water. So like normally there are times when I just want a soda. But I won't drink it until I've had at least, for me, until I've had at least 12 or 11 bottles of water, 8-ounce bottles of water. I might, then if I really, really wanted that soda, then I'll be like, okay. You can tell when you're dehydrated when your mouth is dry. Like right now, even though I've drank 5 bottles of water, I normally when I'm sitting here, I'm drinking water when I do a show. I feel like my mouth is dry. So I'm gonna, as soon as I get off, water and my beet juice. A lot of reasons why people don't want to drink their water or stay dehydrated is because they pee a lot. And a lot of people ask me this, and it's like I be surprised every time because I'm thinking this is something that even children know, but you'd be surprised. A lot of adults don't know this. As you drinking water, yes, as you drinking anything, you're gonna pee more often, right? But here's the thing: it's gonna level out after about a week or two. Everybody's different. Remember, you're unique. There's nobody else like you. After about a week or so, you're gonna level out. So if you used to the pace that you go to the bathroom now, because it's conducive to whatever you like to get into socially, it's conducive to you going to work, sitting at work, doing your job, or you at school or whatever you're doing. That rate in which you often have to go to the bathroom, you like it, and you feel like, oh Lord, if I start drinking water, I'm gonna always be in the bathroom. In the beginning, yes, because it's like a shock. That won't last long. Give it about a week and a half or 2 weeks tops. And whatever your normal pace of going to the bathroom was, is going to return. So, But dehydration, if you learn nothing else, learn this. You don't want to put yourself in a chronic situation of being dehydrated. When you do that, you're going to throw your body's balance off. When you do that, you're going to cause your body to release whatever it has to release to fix or heal whatever problem has arose or arise because of your lack of drinking water. Yes, your body has a pharmacy. It's called the adrenals. And they're glands, right? They work in conjunction with your thyroid gland. When your body is damaged or has a problem, it sends out cortisol. Everybody knows what cortisol is. We use it for skin problems like eczema. Um, we use it for a lot of things, pain management. Your body makes it naturally. But cortisol, too much of it, causes weight gain and causes you or prevents you from losing weight. So while you're sitting up here thinking, I don't want to drink that much water, you're going to cause yourself to have a swelling problem. And once you do that, you're going to have a cortisol problem. And once you do that, you most certainly will have a weight problem. And once you do that, you're overworking your organs, could be your heart, your lungs, or whatever. And you're going to shorten your life. This is why I say an imbalance anywhere is an imbalance everywhere. And I say dehydration starts that imbalance. You want to be hydrated. You should know that being hydrated is going to help you lose weight more quicker than anything else. Doesn't matter the diet you on. None of it works if you're not hydrated. Period. Every diet that is a permanent staple in this regimen to stay hydrated. Every diet. I don't care what diet you talk about. If you're not hydrated, that diet won't work. It doesn't matter which. There is no shortcut with this. And if you're a superior athlete like a boxer or you're into combat sports, you don't want to mess around. So how do you pick, you know, how do you know how to cut weight properly? That's questions that people ask. You go by your stats, your stats. You have to look at the height of the person. Again, as a boxing coach, we have to figure this out. We have to figure out how we get people to lose weight or fight at the most proper weight. Everybody has a set weight, and that's a homeostasis set weight. Okay. Everybody has that. You could be the same age, same gender, same height, same race. I mean, I'm just trying to say same across the board. And your weight and that person weight, as far as being at a homeostasis state of being, can be different. Like you basically saying you wanna know your most optimum weight, meaning what weight can I be where I'm my best me? I run better when I need to. I can bend over, I can do stuff, I have energy through the day. Everything, is working properly. My hair grows like it's supposed to. The enamel on my teeth is strong. My skin is clear. This, that, and the other. I look my best. What is my most optimum weight? And like I just said, with the same person, same height, same gender, same race, that person A could be 140. That person B could be 140, 140.8 ounces. It could be that slight, or it could be person A is 140 and person B could be 146. There's no rhyme or reason. Understand that you're uniquely you. That's the only thing. You are uniquely you. But when we looking at boxers, you're talking young people too, young guys, young men like 20, 21 that don't even look like they got a weight issue, which they don't. It don't even look like they got body fat on them at all. Like they look like they the perfect weight where they at. And we have to look at them and determine what weight should they be. And we have to solicit their help. Like, hey, when you're doing this rigorous routine, when does it become easy or feel good or it's not a big deal and you get through it real easy without sustaining no injury or this, that, and the other? And some people be like, they know that way. People who have never experienced that don't know. So when I'm helping somebody, I have to take in consideration they have never experienced that. I take that in consideration. I take their height in this order. I take their height, the bone density, like the stature, and then I take in consideration just how proportioned they are. I factor in all those things when I'm trying to say, you know what? You are a small guy. You have no body fat on you. And I know you weigh 140 on a regular. Every day we come in, you get on the scale, you pretty much weigh 140 because you're 20 years old. But I think you'll work better if you fight at 135. Now, for that person, that's gonna be a lot. 135. They think they already small. It's like, oh my God, that's a lot. But at 135, it's like they are at their optimum level. 140, they still cool, but 135, they're at their optimum level. And then when they come in and they do the boxing match, we know in 36 minutes, or how, and I'm just using real time for boxing, 12 rounds, 36 minutes. We know that at that point, it's possible that you could drop more weight. Because when you do boxing, you drop weight in your whole boxing match. The boxing match can't be no more than 36 minutes. Some people do 10 rounds, some people do 12 rounds, whatever. But in them rounds, at the end, and you get on the scale somewhere, you would have lost a lot of weight. How does this balance out? Because we saw that you needed to weigh 135, but you normally walk around at 140, okay, or 145. Maybe let's say you walk around at 145 or 150, but we know that you should be 135. We make the weight 135, and then right after you get off that scale, you're free to drink, eat, whatever. You're gonna have your fight the next day. So you drink, eat, whatever, and you balloon back up to 150. And in a 2-month time period, you went from 150 to 135, and then overnight you went back to 150. That's going to cause you damage. And that's why, that's one of the reasons too, why I apply this to working with boxers or whatever. This notion that, you have to do it responsibly. You have to do it properly. And we've always heard that food was thy medicine. And so I try to make sure that I found out why food is thy medicine. And in studying food, I understand why. So I understand that, you're going to get a better reading, better accuracy when it comes to dehydration or hydrating and weight loss. You have to be careful with it when you're cutting weight. You have to stay hydrated. And you can do the things that people think will cause you to gain weight, like drinking a lot of water all the time and eating a lot. No, none of that makes you gain weight. It's the sugars in the foods and those preservatives that you don't know because they're not on the label that makes you do all that stuff. Now, I know this is kind of like a dry type subject or whatever. I thought it was important because hardly you ever see somebody faint, at a weigh-in. You know that they be going through it. You know it. Like I said, we've had boxers that had to be at their weigh-in by Friday, but that Monday they 20 pounds over their weigh-in. So maybe by that Friday they had to be 140, but that Monday before the Friday, they're 160. That's not good. And there are better ways. So if you ever need help with weight cutting or anything like that, I can be reached at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. I will ask you a series of questions, and we're going to address whatever issues that's making you be in that predicament. And it's not, I repeat, it's not because you're pulling up at a buffet. I refuse to believe that. It's never been the case. It's never been the case. And everybody that I work with, that they was just this big time overeater. That's never been the case. What has always been the case is they had some kind of medical issue that you don't even correlate with weight. Maybe they was toxic. Like they was very acidic. That's a big issue that's common across the country. They were very acidic. You don't think here acidic and then think, oh, I'm overweight or I got a weight problem because I'm acidic. You don't never put those two together, but it is together. You're overweight because you're acidic. But because you don't know that those two go together, you never even try to fix the acidic problem. But once you fix the acidic problem, you automatically fix the weight problem without even trying. And that's what I do. So anyway, if you need help or anything, um, like I said, I address things like tightening up your skin, clearing up your skin, all of that stuff. You might have acne real bad or something like that. I can put recipes together that'll clear that all the way up better than any pill could do. And you might be overweight a little bit, but you're not thinking about the acne and the weight. You're not putting the two together. And I'm not saying acne could cause you to gain weight, because some people try to be crass and be like, "Oh, what you saying? That the acne caused you to gain weight, or the acidic problem caused you to gain weight?" In a sense, yes. But I'm not saying it in the way that is being that people say it. I'm saying you fix that problem, because that's the problem. You fix that problem. Acne is almost like you got to go deeper. Like, why do you have the acne? What is causing you to have the acne? What's going on with your body while you got the acne? Let's fix the acne. We fix the acne, and at the same time, we done fix the weight. What? You're gonna see that you fix one problem, and weight is a byproduct of whatever that product is, that problem is. So, um, and all of that can be attributed to hydrating properly, because hydration is not just drinking water, it's also eating properly. So that's all I have today. Thank you for tuning in. And if you, like I said, if you have any questions, email me at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And leave a comment to let me know if the video was helpful, or was there anything extra that you wanted to know. Please, people, be out there, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Get rid of all those myths about drinking water and what it does. Like, oh, all it's gonna do is just make me pee all the time. But that's short time. That's a week and a half, and then you're back to normal. If I drink a lot of water, I ain't gonna never be able to lose weight. That is a complete lie. You drink plenty of water, you will peel weight off. You drink hardly any water, you're gonna gain weight. And don't do no diets where you like, can I get some water pills? No, it's not real weight. And you're setting yourself up to have a stroke or a heart attack. Don't do it. But anywho, when you know better, you do better, right? So until next week, peace. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment, even when you watch it in replay. And remember, my show, my boxing show, which will start again Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 19:30 every day. That's military time. I should have put Eastern Standard Time on there. But you guys check me out. We're gonna be talking. We had a good weekend of boxing. We it was a full weekend, and I got a lot to say. But anyway, stay hydrated out there. We do the water check every day. We advocate that you drink 100 ounces. With kids, though, we advocate a half their body weight, at least 90% get there. So if a kid weighs 100 pounds, they should be drinking 50 ounces of water a day, at least. All right. So until I see you next Sunday, peace.